Hi, my name is Matt, and if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you're interested in making your own yard art at home for Christmas or Easter or any other celebration you might have in your family. So I just wanted to make a very short video and kind of go through the process of what it's like to make your own yard art, and to know that even an amateur, somebody with no artistic ability, can pick right up and do this. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to decide, what is it that I want to do? Do I want to do Peanuts? Or do I want to do How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Is it a baby announcement? Now, if you have no artistic ability at all, the thought of drawing these types of things may be a hindrance to you. And if that's the case, that is where I come in and help, because I do sell patterns so that you can create your own if you have just zero artistic ability. So, as an example, this is a 5-foot tall Grinch pattern. This is one that I have laminated, but if you click the link to my Etsy store, you will see that I make these so you can download them, print them out on your home printer, take them together, and then go ahead and put them onto whatever piece of plywood that you would choose. Now, I don't just do Grinch, I also do various Peanuts characters. This is Patty, and if you want to purchase this one, these are about $3 a piece, and they print out on 6 sheets of paper. So 6 sheets of paper is really all that separates you from no yard art to having a Charlie Brown Christmas in your front yard. And if you're wondering what kind of tools are necessary, you don't have to be a master woodworker to get a masterful product. So first, you're going to need a jigsaw. This is a Ryobi brand. It's not necessarily top of the line. I think I paid $13 for that at a Direct Tools. Blades for that are a few dollars. One blade will get you through several pieces of yard art. And if you're wondering, well, what's next? How expensive is it? A sheet of plywood, mine is 4x8, and it runs me about $25. And I can get a Cindy Lou Who, a Grinch, and a Max the dog, where I can get about 6 Peanuts characters out of one board. So you're talking a very low cost and a very high return. Now, when you print out your patterns, you're going to want to take them and lay them onto a sheet of plywood. Now, I have already gone ahead and gone through this trouble. You can see on my board, my Grinch is about 5 feet tall. I come in right at 6 foot, and I believe this one is 58 inches from head to toe. Now, what you're going to want to do here, after you've laid down your patterns, and I really suggest maybe taping it down in a few places so that it will stay in place and doesn't shift around, because that can alter your finished product. You're just going to take a marker, any kind will be fine. Sharpies, I usually use a fat-tipped permanent marker, but any marker will do. Just make sure that it's something that you can see easily. Now, once you get to this stage, you're going to want to use some sawhorses, or however else that you find it easy to cut wood. The jigsaw is really not a difficult tool to use, even for someone who's never picked it up before, because all you have to do is just take your time, play around with the test piece first to kind of get a feel for the blades. The one thing I really like about the Ryobi brand blades is when you get them, they will tell you smooth cut, fast cut, fast cut. I like to use a smooth cut just so that my edges require as little sanding as possible. Now, when you get ready to trace this out, and I should have said this earlier, so I apologize, you're going to want to take the the bad side of the board, the side that's got the knots in it, that has any labeling. Like this one, you can see a few knots. You can see where they have put their corporate information on there, versus the other side, which is just a beautiful solid piece of wood. Now, you can get more expensive pieces. You can get them $50, $60 a piece. Is that necessary? No. Is it going to be slightly easier to paint? Yes. Yes, it will. And from start to finish, it should take you about 5 minutes to trace this out. And then with the jigsaw, depending on your level of expertise, it'll probably take you 15 or 20 minutes. Now, once you have gotten done with the cutting out portion, then comes the fun part. If you buy one of my patterns, all of the details, like the eyes, the nose, the trim for the hat, or the collar, or the waist, that's all included with mine. So all you have to do is print those out and trace them again. Now, I would trace them on with a black permanent marker because it's easy to see. Even if you paint over it, it's easier to see where your original lines were. And as far as paints go, I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. I like to use latex exterior paint. And somebody like the Grinch, you can pick your own colors, a red, green, it doesn't really matter, it's your personal preference. The key to making something that's going to be long lasting though is to take some varnish. I like to use polyacrylic semi-gloss, because what it's going to do is once you have painted your Grinch red, green, white, or Charlie Brown, red and brown and black, you are going to not really see it come to life until you put the varnish on there. So I go and get everything painted in to my satisfaction. Then I take a fat tip. Fat tip's important for this because it really makes the lines come out. Take a black fat tip marker, trace over all your details. Whether it's the fur trim around the boots, whether it's Charlie Brown's hat, or Sally's hair. Go ahead and do that. Then, once everything's dry, take your polyacrylic. You can use a roller, and for these projects, I prefer to use the mini rollers that are about 3 inches wide, and just go over the whole piece. And what you might see is some white blotches here and there. That's okay, because it's going to dry crystal clear, just like it's supposed to. And after you do that, turn it over. Make sure it's dry, but turn it over. When you turn it over, you're going to want to do the other side the same way, and you're going to want to get the edges as best you can. And if you're wondering why am I clear coating both sides, well, that's because, lots of places it rains during the winter season or snows. So what you're trying to do is protect it from the elements. Because if you do that, it'll prevent it warping as much as possible. It'll prevent splitting as much as possible. And, it's really a very low cost thing, but again, has a high return. Now, you're probably wondering, I've got a 5 foot tall Grinch or 3 foot tall Charlie Brown. Now, how do I stand them up? And I'm about to show you what I do for mine. This is Linus from Charlie Brown Christmas. This is one that I cut out, and you can see I've traced all of his details in black. I have put my varnish on here, and I have not varnished the other side yet, but what I do to stand them up is I go to my local hardware store. That could be Lowe's, it could be Home Depot, and go to the electric section. In that section, you're going to find these little U-shaped brackets that are for holding cables in place. You want to get to, they come 2, 3 to a pack for about $1. And you just pop a few screws in the back and go get a PVC pipe that matches. If you get a 1/2-inch bracket, get a 1/2-inch piece of PVC. You can take a rubber mallet, pound the PVC pipe into the ground, and then you can take your Grinch or your Linus, slide it on top, and all of a sudden you have got some real, your cartoons have been brought to life in your front yard. Now, you also, when you're buying your supplies, don't overbuy. You don't need a lot, even for a few big projects. That Grinch that's 5 feet tall, I even have one that he's 6 feet tall, closer to 6.5. You can go and get a sample size container of paint, and that will go a long way. You'll get 1 or 2 full-size Grinches out of it. You know, you can go to your local craft store, you can go to Walmart. You can buy the acrylic paints from in there that are 50 cents a bottle, and get some brushes. You know, I like to use big brushes. This one is not one of my bigger ones I use, but this is good for getting in little detail places. You can paint with those. They go a long way. They go miles further than you would think they would. And you know, again, low cost, but you'll find that a lot of your characters share colors. So, you know, you're really getting kind of a 2-for-1 type thing. And I'm going to step off the camera 1 second. I'm going to get a couple more finished pieces just to show you. So, you know, got Sally, and I really think I was supposed to give her pants because it's Christmas, and I'm sure she's going to get cold out there. But I've also got Charlie Brown, and I need to do a few things with him. But you can see how big these are compared to a grown man. These are over 3 feet tall. And they really stand out in your yard, no pun intended. And you know, here is Marcy. I have not finished yet, but this is what it's going to look like after you cut it out. And now you can look at mine, and you can see there's some smooth cuts in there, but you can see even I, who's done this 3-4 seasons now, I mess up sometimes. If you get something like that, it's okay, because you're going to paint over it. It's not going to be noticeable. And you know, if you really get something bad or you split something, don't worry. All you need is some wood glue. You can get some wood filler. You know, a few dollars will set it straight. Just make sure you clamp it in place. And you know, again, I really hope you go and decide to do this year and you enjoy it, because it's a great project to do with your family. It is something that your neighbors talk about. I promise if you do this, you take your time, you're going to have something where people are coming up to you over and over and over again, and they're going to ask you, like, where'd you get that? And hey, I'll be honest with you. If you buy my patterns, make some and sell them. Make your money back. It's fine. I don't care. I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got the Who Villagers. I've got Max the Dog. I got Cindy Lou Who. You got all the Peanuts people. I've got door hanger patterns. I've got tons of stuff that's very low cost to do. These also make fantastic Christmas gifts. I do recommend though, you know, if you were to lose the download link, you know, that you'll get, laminate these. Especially if you work somewhere with access like a school, laminate, because then you can keep these things year after year. If something happens, you've got it, you can trace it again, you can do it all over again. But like I said, and I'm going to plug my own store one more time. Go check out my link to my Etsy store. When you go, you can look at all the different pictures. You can buy with confidence from somebody that's done this, that knows what they're doing. And when you buy one of my patterns, you are going to get all the pieces necessary to create the outline. You're going to get every detail, whether it's a hat, whether it's a shoe, a smile, a nose, you get that. And in the instructions, you're going to get a color list of what to get. You're going to get step-by-step instructions, so you don't have to watch my boring video over and over again. You're also going to get a chart that has numbered boxes on it. It's a grid that shows you exactly how to place all of the pattern pieces so that you can put these together from start to finish. Most of the time it'll take you 10 minutes. That's printing it out, that's taping it together, then you cut it, you trace it onto a board. Within an hour you can have a fully cut out masterpiece for your yard art. Then you're going to spend another hour or so painting some of them. Some of them are going to take a little bit longer, especially if you've never done it, and that's okay. Use a combination of brushes, use rollers, but again, just make sure you take your time, make sure you have fun with it, make sure you click my store link so you can go and purchase your own for very reasonable prices. And if you have anything at all, please feel free to contact me through my store link. I am very speedy in replies, and I would love to do business with you. Thank you. Have a great day.